Something that I get asked about so much is speed, and how do you become a fast player, and how do you speed your fills up and still keep them clean. It's like people expect a short answer, like there are these 5 golden rules, and if you do them, then within 20 minutes you can shred like Tony Royster Jr. or Chris Coleman, and that's not the case. The only answer that I can give to people asking about speed is to practice so much. That's the only way that you can get up to speed. The most important thing regarding speed that I have to mention is that control comes before speed. I was much faster, I'd say 4 years ago. That's all I practiced. I just practiced speed. I was a lot faster, but I didn't have an eighth of the control that I have now. I was always speeding up in fills. I was always messing up the timing, but I was a lot faster, but I didn't have the control. And that's not what you want. If you're playing in a band context with other musicians and you're like really fast on the chops, but you have no control, then that's worth nothing, because you're dragging everybody down with you the whole time. So unbelievably important is to realize that control comes before speed. So practice a pattern slowly and get it under control. Keep it in control before you speed it up. Chris Coleman had this great way of explaining this, and he said, you can have the fastest car in the world, like the fastest Ferrari or whatever, but if you don't have brakes, then that's worth nothing, because you're going to crash around the first corner. And it's ironic that speed has to be under control. You have to have the brakes on the really fast car, and it communicates the point so well to me. You need to have control. If you don't have control over every single stroke, it's going to sound messy and it's going to sound out of context. The way that I practice speed is to start slow. So I'll get a pattern that's really comfortable to play for me, and I'll show you guys in a few minutes what exactly that pattern is. I actually just have one main kind of speed exercise. I don't practice speed nearly as much as I did, but I just choose a pattern that's really comfortable for me to play around the kit and to split up around the kit, and I start really slow, and I just speed it up, and I try to keep the accents, I try to keep the ghost notes, and it's really important just to stay in control and to keep it in context. Another really important way to keep things in context, and by this I mean to keep it on the grid and to know where the notes are placed, is to play dynamically. So not just to play not to play like that, but to play just to introduce some dynamics into the fill and into the patterns that you're playing. That just kind of locks it to the grid and gives you more control over the pattern, and it gives you the ability to speed it up while keeping it in context and kind of knowing where you are with regards to a metronome or some sort of timekeeping method. I'll just show you guys the method, well, not the method, but the pattern that I use. It's really simple kind of triplet pattern, alternating between an accent being played with a right hand and then being played with the left hand, and I keep filling in between, and then I just slowly start on the snare drum playing the accents as rim shots, and then I split it up around the kit, but I start really slow, and I see how fast I can get it while keeping the accents, and the softer notes. Like I said, start slow. That's incredibly important. Even if you can only get it up to like a moderately fast speed, not even that fast, but you can keep it under control. That is worth so much more than being able to play it at a fast speed but having no control over it. So not knowing where you are, not knowing where the one is, not knowing where the bar ends. It's so much more important to have control over it, to be able to fit it into a complex song, or at the end of a chorus, or at the end of a verse or a bridge or whatever, and knowing where it ends, where the one is, where the grid is, just keeping in control of the fill. So my main speed exercise, I'll just show it to you now, and I'll start really slow, and I will go as fast as I feel comfortable with. So it's not going to be incredibly fast, but I really just want to stay in control of the pattern and keep the dynamics consistent and in context. So this is my main method of practicing speed, and I'll start slow and hopefully get it a little bit faster than where I'm starting at. So, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath now. I don't practice speed as much as I would like to, but that's my main exercise to practice speed. Like I said, control is really important. I try to keep the accents, and the soft notes, the soft notes. And another thing that I like doing is giving myself small targets around the kit. So in a few of the loops, I'll try to hit the bells of the cymbals, sometimes even the wing nuts. Just try to make the targets as small as possible to improve my accuracy. But yeah, that's my main exercise when I practice speed.